What's good, gente? Thank you guys once again for tuning in. As you guys can see on the thumbnail and on the title, right? This is a Beach Flats profile, right? And I'm going to be pretty much putting out there exactly why they're such a popular hood when it comes to out of towners or other people just hearing about Santa Cruz and automatically thinking about the beach flats, and just being aware that in the boardwalk they gotta be trucha, when it comes to these sureños because they happen to be around that area. So I will be speaking on that, man, and I will include that there is other sureño hoods in Santa Cruz and they will be getting their profiles as well. Just give me time, gente. So with all that being said, gente, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit a like for your boy, man. Make sure to subscribe, hit that follow, hit that notification bell, just in case we go live. And with all that being said, gente, let's get started. So Beach Flats happens to be a Sureño hood in Santa Cruz that is well known to pretty much put in work on out-of-towners, because there's a lot of out-of-towners that happen to pretty much go towards their area. They are located in a nice spot. I'm actually gonna say it is a nice spot, and I know a lot of things have changed. Where a lot of people that come from out of town may get confused and be like, "Hey, there's no Sureños here." Well, technically, just because it's the boardwalk and you see those commercials like, "Hey, Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk," yeah, sometimes it's not too cool. So just be aware that it is a neighborhood. That area is a neighborhood. And just because people move out, hey, the hoods don't die out, so people still pull up, and that is technically a well-known area for the South. We got to give it to them, man. They've been around for a good minute, and they're still active. They're still with that activity, or at least they're still posting up where people are pulling up on them. I don't know, because at the end of the day, man, I just read what I see, and especially on the news, man. I'm still in my area, so I see what happens, and I know that there's it gets cracking, bro. Still this day, it's still cracked. So they're still considered to be a dangerous hood in Santa Cruz. So the Santa Cruz area is still run by the South. Don't get me wrong. There happens to be woods, and like I said, I will be making profiles on them too. I'm gonna try to get everybody, man. So just give me time. But yeah, man. So the beach flats, like I said, man, they are dangerous. They're a hood that is actually really active out there. And to be quite real, because I know there's going to be people like, who do they consider their actual enemy? Most of the time, when the town happens to be or have more of a certain gang, right? Because Santa Cruz is pretty much considered a Sureño town where they do have a lot of Sureño gangs, right? So technically, since they have so many Sureño gangs, of course, one of the mother hoods that happens to be another southern hood, right? They are going to be funking with. But Beach Flats happens to be a neighborhood, bro, that to be quite real, they can't really afford to be having that blue on blue. So to what I actually heard, and I could be wrong, man, because there's probably gonna be some people in the comments like, nah, man, I'm from that hood and I done funk with somebody, right? I'm gonna be quite honest with what I have seen and to the people that I talk to at least, right? Because I have some homeboys that are from the flats, right? They pretty much told me that they weren't like they didn't really have to funk with anybody, right? Because they always had some type of activities when it came to the Nortenos. There was always someone that wanted to test the waters or felt that they were with the business. And don't get me wrong, man, there's a lot that were with the business that would go, just to start some stuff or just to post up, because like I said, it is the boardwalk and your kids want to go, man. So, like, hey, you're going to risk it. Hey, life's a risk. And at times, man, it'll get funky, bro, to the point where Mamá Dolores would be like, hey, ¿con qué te peleas, Chuy? ¿Con qué peleas? Like, shit, dispensa. It just happens, especially when you're young. So they were always well known to actually be rushing out of towners. So they didn't really have the time to be actually set tripping when it comes to blue on blue. But don't get me wrong, man. There's other hoods that don't like the fact that they're well known Especially out of towners. You know, when it comes to other out of towners, everybody always speaks about the beach flats. That's the first hood that they hear about when it comes to Santa Cruz. And let's be real, man. There's other hoods, man. They're probably gonna be in the comments like, bro, La Villa, Brown Pride, East Side. You know, they're gonna be like, bro, La Primera lives, you know, like we'll trip out G. They became a little bit more popular, especially because all the out of towner norteños that were hitting the boardwalk that get rushed or they just happen to see some activity when it came to the flats, right? They would go to other towns and well, they would go back to their town and they would pretty much speak about them like, hey, fool, you got to be trucha and just be aware because that was something that even in what's on, you're like, hey, make sure you don't get caught slipping, bro. Always be on your toes, you know, like, hey, always be on your toes. Take one of them allegedly's, or just make sure, bro, that it's a couple of you guys because they're gonna catch you slipping. And nowadays, bro, like I said, you can't even tell if they're gang members. Let's be real, man. I done said this on other videos. You can't even tell. But pretty much, man, that's the main reason why they became a well-known neighborhood out of town and in Santa, you know, because they got that fame when it came to their neighborhood. Nowadays, man, like I said, I do pass by there a lot, and this is not to take shots, man. I just like cruising through the boardwalk, going through like the whole cliff. You know, I like cruising through there, so I do happen to pass through the beach flats. I could pass through there and take some images. Like I said, it's not really the same, but they're still out there, bro. They're still out there. I do see groups of youngsters pushing around and like I said, but I'm not coming out there to disrespect or any type of way, man. Shout outs and respects to the flats. And like I said, man, they're still with that activity. You do hear about them in the news. You can look them up. You'll see articles. I honestly believe just like two to 3 weeks ago, there was something that popped over there. And I don't know if it was both parties, but at the end of the day, no one got hurt. And hopefully it stays that way. But like I said, that is a hood that's out there, and they are with the activity, bro. So this is gonna be a little small profile when it comes to the flats. You know what I'm saying? This is Santa Cruz Flats. It is a Sureño hood. I will be making more hood profiles on my next one. I believe it's gonna be the MS. We do have MS in Santa Cruz, so I will be making a video on them, and then I'll continue to continue going on. And if you happen to see this video and you happen to be from a certain hood and you just feel some type of way, bro, or you just want to like clear up some things, like, hey, bro, you didn't say this or whatever, feel free, bro, to hit me up on my IG. Like, just let me know, homie, and we'll see what we can do or what I can fix on the profiles. Or if you know that there's gonna be a profile coming up on your thing soon, bro, hey, hit me up on IG or email, like I said. So with all that being said, gente, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is gonna be a small video on the flats. This is a hood that people do gotta be aware of if you happen to go to the boardwalk. They're still out there, homie. Like I said, if you come in a non-disrespectful way, I honestly believe you'll be all right, especially if you parked inside the actual Santa Cruz, the boardwalk parking lot, right? I believe you'll be all right. There's hella placas. But if you happen to scatter around or happen to want to park somewhere where you don't pay, right? Hey, you might have to be aware that they are around that area. Their hood is there, and they are with that activity. So like when it comes to rating the flats, I'm gonna give them a 9. I'm actually gonna give them a 9, especially because they go at it with a lot of out of towners that I know happen to be with the business, because this is a hood that's been put out there for a long time that you gotta be trucha. So I know if other towns that know and they still happen to pull up, I know they with the business. So with all that being said, gente, that's why I'm gonna give them a 9. So I hope you don't mind. And with all that being said, if you like the video, make sure to hit a thumbs up for your boy. Make sure to subscribe, hit that follow, hit that notification bell in case we go live or we drop any other videos, right? So that you don't miss out. And thank you guys once again for your support, like always. And with all that being said, man, this is your boy Conejo, and I'll see you guys on the next one. We out.